Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Comic Crew. We are the ones who discuss your favorite movies, TV shows, comic books. As always, I'm Rob Moran, and with me is the great
Chris Heller.
And we do want to warn you that some of our conversation may have some spoilers, so pay attention to the show notes below. And I got to say, it feels great doing that intro, even though it was a little rocky. I miss you guys. I know you missed us.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, you miss me?
A little bit, yeah.
Good. I don't miss them.
But no, man, it's been a while. How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Playing a lot of video games.
Okay.
Got Mortal Kombat 11.
How is it?
It's fun. Great story. Great story.
Crazy badass.
Yeah.
I hear the graphics are nuts.
It's bananas.
Yep. I hear people are like learning anatomy from it in all the wrong types of places.
Oh, yeah. And I know how to slit the throat in the right direction. And you hit your carotid artery. And then it take your lungs out from your throat. I'm learning all this crazy stuff.
Nice, man.
Where the spine is very important. You just
So have you, I'm guessing, obviously, between that you've seen Endgame.
Yes.
We've seen, it's been a while, people. We've gone through Endgame. We've gone through Star Wars Celebration with the Star Wars trailer. Game of Thrones is halfway done.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
And if you are wondering, hey, Rob, hey, Chris, when is the Game of Thrones review coming out?
Fuck is the review?
Don't worry, Game of Thrones is coming. We're going to do that very soon.
And Endgame is coming as well.
Yes, I was going to...
Oh, sorry.
I was going to do a little bit more colorful language with it.
Gotcha.
But you know what? Sometimes you just need to be direct to the point.
Sometimes you just got to shoot for the fence.
All right. So, the reason why you guys are here, you want to know what's going on in the comic book world and all the other pop culture stuff.
Yes.
So, the first thing we want to talk about is that there is going to be a new Batman Superman ongoing series with Josh Williamson and David Marquez going to create as the creative team.
Yes.
So,
awesome.
Chris?
Yes.
Aside from, we don't have a current Batman Superman comic going on right now, and we're big fans of those characters, why should people care about this creative team?
Oh, totally. If anyone's reading Flash right now, Josh Williamson is killing it.
Beautiful art.
I don't know, but I think both of us at the same time. Josh started with the Rebirth on Flash. He was kind of like a DC Comics super fan. He would go to see Jeff Johns during cons and like sign his stuff and talk to Jeff.
He's like me, but I can't draw.
Basically. But like he became an artist for DC and they put him on Flash, and it's been one of the best renaissances of Flash in our time since, like, obviously Jeff did Flashpoint and stuff like that. But Josh is just an amazing creator. He knows these characters inside and out. Flash is amazing. And then David Marquez is a Marvel artist who just got an exclusive deal with DC.
So DC's poaching.
Yeah, and they poached well. He was a top Marvel artist. He was currently doing Avengers.
Yeah, very good.
Which is awesome. He's done Iron Man when Invincible restarted. So he is a big-time Marvel artist that he just signed a DC contract, and he is doing it for this book with Josh Williamson, which we haven't seen a book like this since, I believe, Greg Pak's Batman Superman run, back with the New 52.
Well, speaking of poaching and Marvel struck back.
Yes.
They stole Patrick Gleason for an exclusive Marvel contract. He will be doing Amazing Spider-Man and some other comics to be announced.
Yeah. My guess is also Avengers, just because they need to fill that Marquez spot.
So why do people care about Patrick Gleason? Who is he?
Yeah, and Patrick Gleason's amazing too. He's done the first couple issues of Young Justice with Bendis,
which has been great.
He has that awesome kind of like younger, cartoonish, but yet adult style to it. He did Superman with Pete Tomasi, which was a beloved book for a long time. And he's just kind of been around DC, did Super Sons. And he's like been a huge up-and-coming artist. He's also writes too, so he was writing with Tomasi and getting his writing credentials up. So he just signed an exclusive with Marvel. So yeah, he's doing Spider-Man with Ryan Otley and Nick Spencer, and probably will do Avengers. My guess is do Avengers. Maybe, maybe another book. I know that Jason Aaron is getting, after War of the Realms is doing his end arc. Maybe he does that Thor last arc with Jason Aaron. Who knows? Which
would be nice. So pretty much, guys, pay attention to Amazing Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. We're going to get some great comic books here. In the world of TV, I got a little weird one for you. We got Ron Howard and Jonathan Kasdan are in talks for a Willow TV show.
Yes.
Now, I am not too familiar with the property, but luckily we have a nerd on the show. Who is?
Our nerd correspondent standing by. Hello, geek correspondencies.
He's not coming.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'll have to fill in.
Yeah,
I guess I'll do
it.
Yeah, so Willow is an amazing sci-fi epic that came out in the late 90s. It stars Warwick Davis, who played the young Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
He's the little person. He's been in like every Star Wars film since then in kind of background roles. He was one of the trolls in Harry Potter.
Okay.
One of
okay.
the goblins.
Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that was kind of his big movie. He's with Val Kilmer, and Val Kilmer's like his knight who protects him. Willow is this like small character who's like almost like Merlin. He has magical powers. It's a fantastic cult classic.
So like sword and sorcery going to that kind of stuff.
It's almost like King Arthur mixed with Lord of the Rings.
So Game of Thrones fans,
Yes.
to fill the void, should pay attention to this.
Yes.
Because you're going to get that Game of Thrones medieval feel with a little bit more magic.
Yes.
Because the main character is a magician.
Yep.
Well,
yes, he's a mage, and it's very lighthearted. It's an amazing, beautiful story. I watched it as a kid all the time. I still remember it. It's still a great movie. And the fact that they're possibly doing a TV show for like probably Disney Plus or something in that realm would be amazing.
I'm definitely interested. Let me know if you guys are down below. Definitely like sword and sorcery. I like magic, so I'm all in.
Yep. See the movie.
So, on the contrast, you talk about lighthearted and magic.
Yeah.
I got a little darker news for you guys, and you already know. Ghost Rider and Hellstrom are going to have a live-action series on Hulu, thanks to the folks at Disney. And now, I don't think I need to explain Ghost Rider to many of you, but if you don't know it, Ghost Rider, this is going to focus around Robbie Reyes, he lives in California, right?
Yeah, he lives in L.A.
By the L.A. and like very close to Mexico.
Yep.
He becomes the Ghost Rider. His car is his steed. He summons that fires the flames, becomes a skull-faced man on fire. Right? That's it.
Ghost Rider.
And Hellstrom, they are the children of this, if I'm not mistaken, is it the devil?
Basically, think of it almost like Lucifer mixed with Constantine.
That's what it seems like.
It's kind of like that. It's like they're basically like they could summon the evil kind of powers. It's a very dark, very like your BC list magic in Marvel. If you compared Marvel and DC really has kind of like that dark magic realm, right?
Yeah.
Like when you look at magic and dark sorcery stuff in Marvel, it's more like Doctor Strange.
That's it.
And like his dark stuff that he goes through with parallel dimensions. This kind of brings it to the ground level of that world. So I think that's what Marvel's trying to capitalize with that.
Which is very good because this realm opens a gateway to the other ground level dark things, which we all are familiar with. Blade, we saw those movies, whether you like them or not.
And Blade would be another great character in that realm.
So Blade could definitely be introduced into this because they deal with all the dark magic, the vampires, the werewolves, and we're going to see all that kind of stuff. And we're seeing more and more of that in the comic side of things with the current, with the last Avengers arc with Dracula.
Yeah, it was a massive Dracula arc.
Well, by the way, fantastic.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
highly pick it up. We're probably going to talk about it.
Yeah, it was fun.
But that's something to look forward to. I got some more dark news, but not dark cool, like dark bad.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do it.
So, DC Universe app may stop after Swamp Thing. So, Swamp Thing originally was 13 episodes. And you guys who have been fans of the show, and Chris definitely knows I'm a big proponent of this. It looks really good. Then we got news it was cut down to 10.
Yeah.
And then we got now news that have been other issues with the app, saying that they want to go back to the drawing board and rethink things. Mainly, if correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably because they see all the stuff that's coming up with Disney Plus, and they're like, "Hold up, wait a minute, we can't even get this on Amazon Stick."
I think that's part of it. So Warner Brothers a couple years ago got bought out by AT&T.
Yes,
It's still Warner Brothers. It's still
Warner Brothers Media. Yeah,
It's still Warner Brothers Media, but AT&T now is the owning stock property in it. And
so if you want to buy DC stock, buy AT&T.
yeah, kind of. So if you take what DC has right now, it's not enough. If you take, just the fact the app alone is very tough to get.
Yes,
You're limiting it to like very. To me, it's very like an older man's way of thinking of technology. It's like, well, what do the kids use these days? Tablets, computers, and phones. That's really all you can get on it. Like, a lot of us still want to watch big time shows like that on a TV.
correct.
And again, you can't get it on a stick, so it's not like you can plug that in. You can't get it on a PS4 or an Xbox One, so you can't like watch it from there, like an app you could download to your game system. It's not available on like Samsung TV, Apple TV.
The thing with this app, which had a big allure to me when it first came out, and something I think they need to refocus on, is the fact that you can get comics on it for free.
Yes.
But it's a very, very small amount, guys, that you can get for free.
They did raise it. I think it's a lot now.
Well, yes, now it is a lot.
Yeah.
But still, this should be like, all right, this should be the comic base. People should be wanting this app to read back on the back issues of stuff and put out content. I think they need to refocus their strategy of not putting out just movies and TV shows, which they should, and I'm all for it because I'm buying Disney app and I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But I think they need to hit this in a different way because Marvel's already coming out with theirs and Disney, and they can't even compete with that when it comes out.
True.
So they have to be a little bit more unique, I think.
Yeah, they do. And I don't think they can stop at just DC properties now. I think they have to...
You think Looney Tunes are going to be in it? You
I think
all
so.
of Warner Brothers?
I think you have to build it into a Warner Brothers app. I think, Disney Plus is not called the Marvel Plus app.
Okay.
It's not called the Star Wars Plus app. It's the Disney Plus app. And that, to me, like, they put all their eggs in one basket. Obviously not Ghost Rider and Hellstrom. That's kind of different. The Ghost Rider is going to be from...
On Hulu.
Yeah, and it's going to be from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. It's the same guy playing it.
Which is awesome.
Well, yeah, it's cool. I don't know if either show's needed personally, but it's property. I think with DC, you have, 3 shows. Everything else is old that's on there. Uber fans like you and me have already seen all that stuff multiple times.
Yeah.
We also have collector's box sets and yada, yada, yada. But it's not enough. I think they need Looney Tunes. I think they need Warner Brothers movies that come out straight
Looney
there.
Tunes would be great.
Any type of Warner Brothers major properties. Because this is now, like, once Disney Plus drops, this will be the battle of, like, the streaming service dicks.
I'm saying...
Whose dick is bigger.
Hey,
Legit.
hey.
Whose dick is bigger. Disney's is going to drop down Mandalorian day one.
Put it back in your pants.
Oh, sorry. But Disney is dropping Mandalorian day one. Right? I saw that. Netflix is losing a bunch of property.
Yes.
And really their biggest thing right now is Stranger Things, which is not going to sustain them.
They have a lot of other good properties, but it's not like...
But if
triple A, like it's not triple A titles.
Well, look at also the price. Like Disney Plus's price is going to be $6.99 a month,
That's insane.
or only $70 for the year. That's less than Amazon Prime by $30 for the year.
Yes,
and that's like half of what Netflix charges now for like HD.
Well, when you think about it, when you come up with a new product in any market,
you
want to undercut so that way you get more of the market share.
Totally,
right?
And I'm sure in 3 years when it's out, it'll shoot up,
and we'll be like, yes, Disney,
and we'll be like, okay, here's more money. But like again, you're getting Star Wars, you're getting Marvel, you're getting your Disney TV shows, you're getting shorts. Like there's like going to be some short with Toy Story.
Yes,
I don't think
with Forky, if I'm not mistaken.
With Forky, yeah, and you're going to get more stuff like that. So I don't think DC can look at their properties and say, yeah, this is enough for people to want to buy this. And pay for this. It's just not.
That's a good idea, because
and neither it is for AT&T, who's like, hey, we just bought all this stock in you guys, and we're going to lose money now. Mm-hmm. We need to figure something out.
I mean, look at Six Flags. They combine everything in Six Flags.
Yep.
So do the same thing in your app.
There you go.
Very simple.
Yep.
Moving on to the movie news, and I know you want to hear this number. We're going to talk about Avengers Endgame, not just the review. That comes later. We're going to talk about how it destroyed box office records. It has reached the 2 billion mark in 2 weeks.
Passed it.
Faster than me and Chris both predicted.
Yes, and
I did not think it'd hit 2 billion this quick.
I didn't think it would be this quick. I originally projected this movie might hit $3 billion.
I think you were...
And I was being like I was like, if I had to think like this could hit $3 billion, I'm like, it's a stretch, but it's a possibility.
I said 3.5. Remember,
we'll see. This is nuts. Like
it is.
That this not only means that like, hey, everyone and their mother has seen this movie. By the way, if you haven't seen it, you just don't care enough at this point. But like,
wow, I understand life happens.
No,
guys,
I know.
Don't worry about it.
No, you just don't care enough. It's simple. But like, if you haven't seen it yet, you just don't care enough. But it not only means that, it means everyone who went to see it said, okay, we need to go see it again. You know what I mean? Like $1 billion a week. That there was no drop off. That's saying everybody who went said, okay, now we go again this week, and now we're gonna see this as many times as we can in the theater, because
man,
I think everyone knows, even whether uber comic fans like we are or not, this is something on screen that you will more than likely not see in this caliber ever again.
Well, at least not for another 10 years.
At least not for another 10 to 15 years, but never in the same light of like for the first time.
For the first time.
And it's never in the same light of with all the characters together, like almost like turning a page and seeing a splash page. I don't think it's going to be possible to get that same limelight again, and I think people realize that and they say, I have to see it the way I need to see this. So I know I'm going to go back forever.
I'm going back.
I maybe this week, or maybe I'll wait for Detective Pikachu a week and see it again.
You're not going to watch Detective Pikachu?
I am. I just don't know if I'm going to go week 1 with all like the little kids that annoy me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I know you are.
It looks so cool, man. Come on.
It looks fun.
All right.
I said I'm going to see it.
You did. We got more movie news.
Yep.
We have Joe and Anthony Russo, the Russo brothers.
Russo brothers. Thank you.
As you
we are
know,
not worthy.
from maker of Endgame, Civil War,
Everything.
every
Infinity War. Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. That was the one I was thinking. They're gonna work on the Stanley documentary. Well, there's at least there's talks and reports that they're going to work on it. They're working on it. I'll be very happy. This is kind of the piece of news that I don't really care who's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do, but the bigger and more important thing for me is that there is a Stanley documentary being made.
Yeah.
And I do think that this is one of those people who definitely deserve it. I mean, we do get a lot of legends in our lives that we get documentaries on, right? We have one of Michael Jackson. We have one, I think,
We have a
Beyonce
bad one
has
about Michael Jackson
We have
recently.
a bad one, yeah. We have the
Holy
good one, and we
hell.
had a bad one. We had, I'm sure there's a Elvis one. Like, people have these, right? And
A lot of musicians, a lot of movie
Correct.
stars.
And it is just heartwarming for me to hear that one of my icons is going to have it.
Yep.
Not saying the others aren't, but this is a little bit outside the norm. This is a guy who wrote comic books.
Yeah.
And just had a nerdgasm and created all this, and he is going to be honored. So I think that is fantastic. And I love that the Russo brothers are going to be doing it because right now Russo brothers and Marvel go hand in hand. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward.
and the Russos have said like Endgame is their last movie that they're doing for Marvel. Like again, it's exhausting. Like it's 3 years of pure secrecy. It's 3 years of
they can even talk to their wives, I'm
immense
sure.
work. Yeah, like it's 3 years of immense work and craziness. And if they are making a Stan documentary, more power to them. I think it's a great idea.
That's a great
think
way to
it's
say
needed.
goodbye to Marvel.
True, and I think it's a great way. I think it's great to do for the fans who maybe only know Stan as like the cameo guy in the movies,
Which I'm sure many do.
and maybe like for the people who only recognize him as like, oh yeah, like he created a bunch of these characters, but I kind of know him as just like the cameo guy from like Marvel movies. Like really knowing the real Stan, I think is a great thing. And hopefully they put Kevin Smith in it because that would be stupid not to.
I'm sure they will. They have a big
got to.
relation. I mean, they're going to talk about
They
that.
gotta.
Got some trailers we got to talk about, guys. Two in particular. The first one we're going to talk about.
Hopefully we'll speed through it.
Ah! Look at you!
Slap
I am so proud of him sometimes. You got to go fast in this life, Chris.
gotta go.
We got to talk about Sonic. We got to talk about the Sonic trailer.
Do we have to?
We don't have to.
No, we'll talk about it.
All right. So first off, you guys already know that there was huge backlash when this trailer came out. The producers and creative team at Paramount and the director of this movie have heard your responses that many of you were not fond of this Sonic and the way he looked, and they want to change. And I've seen some fan altercations of him, and it'll definitely, I do think, is an improvement. But before even getting into how I think he looked, from the story standpoint, I'm in. I'm interested. You've piqued my interest. I see Jim Carrey and being a little bit crazy. I'm loving it. I understand some people don't, and we'll get to that. I was very impressed with the rings. They were a portal. I was like, all right, that's cool. So I'm interested. I'm even more interested now to hear that the creative team behind the movie is going to make the changes to give fans what they want. So that kind of shows that they care more about this and less about like, all right, we're just putting on a movie to make money. So that was good for me. I liked the trailer. I thought it was fun. Go ahead, rip it apart.
I think I'm not going to rip it apart because I don't think it does anything.
Because they're changing.
No, not even that. I just don't think it does. Like it's clearly a kids movie, and I mean clearly. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I like kids' movies. It's fun.
So do
like
I.
kids'
And like
movies.
I'm going to see Detective Pikachu. That's clearly a kids movie. Yeah. Come on, it's clearly a kids movie.
Like what age?
Like 12 and under, maybe 14. Yeah.
I'll settle with a middle ground of 18.
They have Ryan in there. They have Ryan Reynolds in there for like the quote unquote adult jokes that they won't get.
Okay.
But all right, so here's my take on Sonic. I think the bigger problem is more Jim Carrey almost feeling. It felt to me like he lost it. Like he's not Jim Carrey anymore. Like he's trying to pretend to be Jim Carrey, but he's Jim Carrey.
Now, do you say
it was over the
this? After you said that, I didn't see that, so I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? When you rewatch that trailer, especially after you listen to this, guys, you're gonna see what he's talking about a little bit. But do you have this opinion because you know the behind the scenes stuff of how Jim Carrey lost his mind? recently, and now he's trying to get back.
Not even like I mean,
You don't think that factors in?
I mean, I'm sure it does with his personal stuff, but like I've been watching Jim Carrey since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like since Ace Ventura and before that, since In Living Color. But like Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. This to me is almost Jim Carrey playing Jim Carrey. It's almost a little too much. I also like I get it. Sonic looks weird. His teeth are oddly human. Face is a little
His
weird.
eyes. I think if they just fix his eyes, I'm okay.
But like again, also the other problem is this: if fans are able to dictate movies, that's also a problem. Because we already have problems with fans where it comes to they want exactly what they want. And if they don't get exactly what's in their head, or they manifest online and they have these blogs and they have these conversations, like, again, we can speculate on the show all we want. We could talk about, hey, is this a possibility? Is this a possibility? But at the end of the day, we're going to go to the movie, and whatever that movie gives us, that's all we can think about and analyze.
So are you afraid that this sets down a dangerous precedent?
Yes,
that,
100%.
That fans are going to be able to dictate movies.
And I think it clearly proves that they can. In a bad way almost, because it's based off of negativity and backlash. I get some of the changes may be positive, like if Sonic looks better than he does now.
I think that's going to be the change, though.
But I think we're riding a dangerous line here.
Okay.
Because I mean, look at Star Wars. The most speculated movies of all time are Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Arguably Marvel as well now, but Star Wars is like one of the most conspiracy theorist like speculative movies you could have. And there's so many fans like The Last Jedi. There were so many fans who were disappointed based on the ideas that they had in their head that weren't on screen. You have to remember, like, these movies are not they're made for a mass audience to make money. That's a business. Movies are business.
So,
and number two, what you have in your head that doesn't come on screen because it's not yours. Like, we're fans. We feel ownership. We feel like this is our, like, again, comics are like our religion. It is our moral center. It is kind of how we know right from wrong in a deep core sense of ourselves. But at the end of the day, these are not our properties. The directors are paid to do a job. They could do whatever they want. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we can only analyze what we were given, not, oh, well, I expected this. If they did this, it would have been so much better. Oh, my God, I talked to this guy online about this, and I saw this theory, and I saw this. It would have been so much better if they put that in the movie. Why would they do that if you already talked about it?
So with Star Wars,
yes,
I see what you're saying. I get it. But Palpatine's alive.
Yes.
Them including Palpatine.
Yes.
Do you think that was always the plan, or do you think that was a reaction to fans' backlash? Like, oh, wait, you're just getting all away from the old Star Wars. What's going on? I'm like, all right, no, we're going to put that in. You know, we want to make sure that we bring back old and new and all that kind of stuff.
I can't say for sure.
Because you haven't seen the movie.
Because I haven't seen the movie and I don't know because I'm not there. I don't work for them.
Fair enough.
But my guess would be that it was always the plan.
Okay.
And the other thing is this. Fan service. And again, this relates to Sonic as well. Fan service in general. Anything that is a sequel is fan service. Mm-hmm. The only reason to make a sequel is because you had fans of a movie that now would like to see that movie again in a different light.
Yeah.
That is fan service. So for those who are like, and again, relating to Palpatine or whatever, oh, it's too much fan service, blah, blah, blah. You're the same fans who wanted fan service back with the prequel trilogy, episodes 1 through 3, when you're saying, oh, this is crap, there's no fan service in here. You're never going to make everyone happy because the world is trolled and needs to be cleansed in a way of like mental cleanse. Like everyone needs a mental cleanse. No, not a purge.
But that movie scares me.
A little bit.
That movie scares me.
Maybe a little bit.
Because I'm afraid of
I mean, the snap isn't a terrible idea, is it? Is it?
Speaking of snap, we're going to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home. And you're like, wait a minute. What do you mean talk about the snap? If you watch a trailer, you know what happens. And this is going to be spoilers for Endgame.
Spoilers!
And spoilers for, obviously, this movie.
Spoilers!
All right. You good? You still here? Good. It's a multiverse. There's a multiverse!
well,
all right.
Calm down.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be as big as you think. I think people are freaking out. I don't think it's going to be as big.
I think all right, the cynical
I know where your mind is going, though. Right. I know exactly where it's going.
We're going to go with me being rational, me being fan. What do you want first?
Oh, God, neither.
I'm going home. Wait, this is my stuff. I'm taking this with me.
He just swipes everything on the table. No, tell me, how about this? Initial thoughts You want to run through the trailer?
No, we don't have to go scene by scene. We'll go initial thoughts.
One, take my money.
Yeah, I'm already bought. My ticket's already bought. It was bought before this.
Take my money.
I understand how people have the view of this show's too much. I understand. But I think it kind of had to.
I don't think it showed anything.
The multiverse thing, you don't think it's going to be that big? That's why?
I think the multiverse thing was... By the way, everything Marvel does is on purpose. It's Disney. Marvel, Lucasfilm, like the Emperor Laugh, the multiverse line, it's on purpose.
I think the multiverse isn't real, but I'll get to that.
You think Mysterio made it up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I think it's real, but I think Mysterio is creating the havoc that's going on.
Oh.
I think he's creating like the Sandman, Hydro Man, Pyro Man havocness that's happening in Europe, that like he's like, oh, look how much of a hero I am. I think he's going to be like, ooh, here's one. I think he's going to be villain Booster Gold. He's coming, instead of going back in time,
he goes to another
to another universe where they don't know him as a villain, and tries to redo his origin story
as a hero
instead of messing it up.
Those
as a bad
creatures,
guy.
those people he brings with them are from the other Earth,
or they're manifestations that he made up because he's
Interesting.
freaking Mysterio and he's awesome.
But going into this, when I first watched this trailer, Spider-Man has to deal with the loss of Iron Man. Yep. Is he going to be the next Iron Man? And like his movies and his arc in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been Spider-Man, been Tony's protege. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is living up to him, and now that he's gone, he has to deal with the fact that is he what's next? Is he going to be the new Iron Man? And I do like Spider-Man. That as Spider-Man. I do like that path they're going to set forward, and that's something he's always going to have to deal with. Him looking at Tony's face and looking at all these things and like doing an effect to him. And I know in this movie we're going to get a scene. Him and the MJ relationship I thought was cute. But I know we're going to get...
I'm already over it, I'm not going to lie.
I know you are.
I can't stand her.
I know. But...
Sorry. I can't.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You can be mean about things. All right? Let me be hopeful and mushy, then you be mean.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. It's just that's the only part.
I know we're going to get in this movie, we're going to get a scene of when Peter knows that there's the multiverse. He's going to think, what if he's alive on that Earth?
Yes, I was thinking that too.
What if he's alive? I need to go there and figure this out. And then... That's why I'm thinking it's fake. If they do this angle, it might be real. I would love if it's real. I really hope it is. But I do like the idea and angle if it's not real, and he finds out, and then he's crushed, and then Mysterio becomes this even bigger villain to Peter Parker, and like he knows who he is. They both know each other's identity, and like Mysterio, like he helped him and like made him better. And then he just got squashed, and his hopes and dreams got squashed, and he had to overcome that. I think that'd be a really cool thing. They can still have that arc with the multiverse being real, but I think it's more powerful when he said the multiverse is not real, just crushed that hope of him seeing Tony for one last time.
I think that's totally a part of it. I think...
I'm pretty good, huh? I'm smart.
But I think it's almost bigger than that, too.
Oh, okay.
I think he's reeling from Tony the same way he's had to reel from Uncle Ben.
Oh.
And I think it's going to connect into that, and we're going to get a very, like, in the beginning of this movie, a very dark, saddened, hopeless Spider-Man Peter Parker, because I think he's going to have either the conversation with Aunt May or with Happy, who we see Happy is all throughout this movie, which makes me
love Happy.
So excited Jon Favreau's in this movie. I think we're going to get a lot of Peter comparing, like, listen, like, Tony went back to save me the way I couldn't save my Uncle Ben. And now I have to deal with this both times in different ways.
Oh, heartbreaking.
So, like, it was my fault my Uncle Ben died, and the snap changed forever, and Tony came back for me, and I never could, like, show him what I could do now. So I think that's going to be a major part of it.
I like that.
I think you're going to have the awesome Mysterio-ness. I think I'm so glad Nick Fury's in this movie, too.
Yes.
Working with it. I still don't like Flash. I don't find him as an intimidating bully.
He's just it's a modern day bully, and that's how
Is that what modern day bullies are now?
Yeah,
like pussies. Modern day bullies are like this now.
Some are.
God, who are the kids who are getting bullied by these kids? Like poor kids.
They don't get. It's not the same. I don't think anymore. Yeah. I mean, some aspects it is. I'm sure, but
I mean, yeah,
it's different. It's
but
different.
Like anyway, I did like when he get flicked in the nuts when he's like doing the selfie thing.
Oh yeah.
But like
you work for Spider-Man. I work with Spider-Man.
I think you're going to have Peter go from being, like we kind of seen with the quips, I think the gadgets are going to be different. It looks like when he's in New York before the cops come, he has that line of like, oh, I'm too busy doing your job for you. Oh, I'm just kidding.
That was good.
It looked like he did a backflip and while he was backflipping, webs almost webbed them up, but it didn't look like he did it. So we might get like gadgets like the web bombs or the sensor.
Does he
webs.
keep the arms?
Well,
they were destroyed in Endgame, and he had them again in this.
I think so.
I think it's a thing.
I think it's a thing in New York, but I think when he goes, he takes the other suit, like the one he originally had, and he uses that one.
What I'm saying is, like, we're gonna see Spider-Man with the arms, and that's gonna be like a core thing for his character.
I don't even know. I think it's gonna end in this one. I think it's gonna be more of the classic Spider-Man suit.
Okay.
Again, Mysterio is a classic Spider-Man villain. Like he started in Amazing Spider-Man number 8. That's how old Mysterio is. So I think we're gonna have kind of like a Steve Ditko-y fight feel to it. And I think it's kind of Nick Fury and Maria Hill kind of trying to rebuild Shield slowly and look at the Avengers initiative that they have now and look at the characters on the board of what they have now. Almost like Nick Fury is going to be the in-movie Kevin Feige and be looking at like, all right, this is what is left after Endgame. This is what we have. You know, obviously spoilers. Like, Tony's dead. Cap is an old man and not Cap anymore. You know, Thor is off-world.
I don't think they know. They just know he's MIA.
That.
Whatever.
And
Same.
Thor is off-world and fatter than shit. So that is gone.
Me and Thor look the same now.
Yeah, you, Thor, and 40 million other people.
I shaved, though. I'm not a savage.
you gotta braid the front. But I think with all that going on, I think we're gonna have besides the different look of the MCU, a Spider-Man who is going to have to grow up a lot faster. A Peter Parker who's going to have to grow up a lot faster. And like we hear it, like, I just want to go talk to the girl I like, and that's very Peter Parker. But we all know what the Parker luck means.
The fact that she's like, you're Spider-Man. Yeah.
Hated it.
I love it.
Hated it.
Oh.
Absolutely hated it.
I think they're gonna kiss.
Probably. But I don't want I don't want it to be this soon and everyone knows his identity if we're going to keep this kid for the long haul. If
a lot of people are knowing who he is. It's a little
true. It's a lot.
It's like all right, if the Vulture knows who you are.
The fact that he went to Doctor Strange and was like, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker." Like Spider-Man in the comics prides himself on that no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
Right? That's why Civil War was such a big moment. So like I think that's the biggest part. I mean, again, we don't know.
Doctor Strange can mind wipe everybody like he did in the comics.
True. Like, it could be an instance with MJ or Michelle or whatever the hell her name is, that she's, like, joking because she's very awkward and socially awkward. Like, but, like, he's also might be like, and then she's like, I'm just playing, blah, blah, blah. So we don't know.
We don't know.
But
we don't. We
I
haven't
hope
watched
it's not because, like, again, the Parker luck is a thing. Like, Peter Parker has the worst luck. That's why we love Spider-Man so much, because somehow he keeps standing back up and he keeps lifting things off his back and keep going. So I am 150% in on this movie. I cannot fucking wait. To me, this will be the epilogue of the Infinity Saga.
Yes.
This is the last chapter.
Wraps it up with a bow.
Phase 3.
Because Phase 4 could be multiverse travel. We don't even know. We can see the X-Men and Fantastic Four in the multiverse.
That's what I think. I think X-Men and mutants are multiverse.
God. We'll find out. We'll find out.
I think, and here's a big one.
I got one. Oh, you go first.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The worlds are going to collide. Secret Wars.
I'm going that, but bigger.
Wow.
I'm going Secret Wars.
Okay.
Because somehow Doom gets if they make Fantastic Four, Doom gets pulled through the multiverse, tries to learn how to control the multiverse to become God Doom. And the multiverse is now under Doom's control. Not without the gauntlet. It's basically like the power of the universe without the gauntlet. It's just Doom.
Oh.
And then it becomes Secret Wars, and you have Battle World, and you have symbiotes, and you have everyone and their mother.
If you don't know what we're talking about, I understand. Don't worry about it.
And also, multiverse, you could bring back heroes that look different and different actors, but I don't know if I do that right now.
You can't. It's too much of a cheap shot.
I don't want to. I don't want it.
Secret Wars, fantastic comic book.
Yes.
Go on Amazon. Go buy Secret Wars. It's God Doom. It's great. He fights people. They have the Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and all the gems couldn't even stop him. It was great. Such a fun read. But speaking of comic books, the last thing we want to talk about is our pick of the week.
Yay.
So last week, some comic books came out. We're going to talk to you guys about our favorite 2. I'm going to go with mine. Chris is going to go with his. Who do you want to go first?
Go.
All right. So my pick of the week. Why am I reading? I know what my pick of the week is. So my pick of the week is Deceased #1. So it is a 6-issue miniseries from DC Comics right now.
Or DC East, if you're fancy. Look how they spelled it. Like DC's in it. Get it? They spelled it wrong on purpose. Clever.
You clever
clever
dogs.
girl.
You.
Look at that.
If you know what Marvel zombies are, Marvel Universe gets taken over by zombies. This is pretty much DC's version of it, but it is so well written and such a fun time. I had to put this on here. So Darkseid, did a whole war on Earth, loses against the Justice League, takes Cyborg. Cyborg and him complete the anti-life equation. But before he does that, he grabs Death so that way Cyborg doesn't die. Because if Cyborg dies during the combination, the equation's gone. He injects some of Death's black sludge into Cyborg, taints the equation, and pretty much turns it into a techno-organic virus. And when that happened, Darkseid got infected, and all of Apocalypse is starting to get destroyed. One of the evil torturers there...
Desaad.
That's what it is? Thank you. Teleports Cyborg out, teleports him to Earth, and as soon as he goes back onto Earth, he links up with the internet. And as soon as he does that, the virus spreads without his control. Cyborg looks like he's in control of his faculties, but he can't firewall, he can't stop it. And now it's spreading to every mobile phone, TV, and everything. You check social media, you're infected. It was like over 600 million are infected.
I'd be fine.
I'd be dead. I know, it'd be great, right? So you would be fine.
I would be fine. I'd be like, what? What's happening out there?
You cookie kids, turn that off. I told you that magic jukebox is bad.
I'm trying to watch Miss Norris.
Well, it'll kill you, the TV.
That's true. The TV would kill me because it's a smart TV.
So we see a lot of people are dying. Superman sees what's happening, rushes home to John, Lois, and Damian. Damian's over because him and John are best
Playing
friends.
video games.
And I love that John and Damian are both the proper age. Fix it, DC. You know what you did wrong. You know what you did.
Bendis.
Anyway, I'm going to slap you, Bendis. No, I won't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm a bitch.
I'm sorry. You're going to beat me up. I don't want to do. I want to be your friend. We want to have coffee. Anyway, so Superman destroys all the technology in the room. Batman is going, full safe mode. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He hears Scream in the manor. He goes, he sees that not only has Dick been infected, but Tim, which makes sense, the young ones. Alfred's trying to fend them off, and then we see Dick Grayson, Nightwing, take a huge chunk out of Batman and bite him in the neck. So I think Batman's going to be a zombie. I think it's going to be Superman and Cyborg trying to stop this and save it. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Can Superman be infected?
I don't know. Maybe not because he's Kryptonian. But it affects Darkseid. If it affects Darkseid, I'm sure it can affect him, right?
Yeah, but Darkseid doesn't get healed by the sun's rays.
No, so maybe he could fight it. And Jonathan,
so maybe it's it'll infect him slowly, but he fights it off with the sun.
Could be. It's such a fun read and a lot
really
of fun dialogue with Cyborg and everybody there. Very smart book. I recommend it. It's only 6 issues, guys. It just started. That's why it's my pick of the week. Crazy, fun, and kooky. Doesn't have to do with anything in the continuity.
Yeah, it's not canon, so it's a standalone story.
Yeah.
It's fun.
What's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is canon. It's very canon.
Is it pirate canon?
No, it's not a pirate canon. My pick is an actual pirate canon.
Does it have to do with an instrument of war?
Yes, a realm, if you will. So yes, my pick is War of the Realms #3.
Yeah, such a good book.
How could it not be? It's
real quick,
phenomenal. See,
since this is a #3, people who don't know at home, which they all know,
uno and dos.
Just briefly, what is this event?
Yes.
Why should they care? And then tell me what happens in 3 and why you love it.
We're doing basically it's Thor's big epic showdown, epic event. Malekith the Accursed, the Dark Elf in the Thor comics, has united all the realms with a black Bifrost, which is how they travel from world to world. And he has claimed war on everything. He's trying to control all 9 of the realms.
And Malekith, for not my average comic reader, he's the villain in
Thor the Dark World.
Thor the Dark World,
Yes.
The second one. He's an evil dark elf.
Evil Dark Elf.
All right.
Much better in the comics. And he is basically has an army of everything: frost giants, trolls, angels, undead, fire demons, everything. And
if you
Earth
play
is
God
the
of
last
War,
stand.
you're gonna know what a lot of this is. And thank God I played God of War before I started reading
Norse
this
mythology.
because I was like, oh, Muslim. All right, that's where I had to go fight the evil Valkyries.
Yep.
Oh, here. Okay, I understand a lot of this, so that helped.
Mm-hmm. And so when you get to issue 3, by issue 3, Thor's been taken to Jotunheim, which is the land of the frost giants.
Yeah.
And we have a group of Avengers going to look for him that Freya has given the order to Cap, and it's like
Freya,
who's the mother of Thor.
thank you.
Who, if you saw in Endgame, has a very touching scene with her son. And
oh yeah.
if you and this book has like an amazing Captain America moment. She basically is like, Thor's been taken by the frost giants and is the coldest realm on Earth, and everything there wants to kill you and is 19 times your size. She's like, "Will you help me, Captain of America?" And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "Yeah, what do I sign up?"
He's like, I already have my Thor
like,
axe
yeah,
ready.
he's like, "Yes,
I'm
ma'am."
already cosplaying to go
He's
in
like,
Jotunheim.
I'm on my way. Like, let's go. So
I love the line in this. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Go for it.
Where Captain America takes his team to go to save Thor. And Spider-Man, they all have like these cool armor and stuff like that, weapons.
That's right.
And Spider-Man just gets a shield. And he's like, how come you guys get a cool sword and armor? I just get a shield. What kind of idiot runs in a fight with just a shield? And he looks at Cap. And I'm like, I love it.
He's like, "Oh, right. Yeah."
I love it. It was great. Cap didn't even bother. He was just like, you're dumb. It's
He
okay.
just kept going. Yeah, like while that's going on, there's another team with She-Hulk, Punisher, kind of like the darker, heavier characters.
Ghost Rider's in it.
Ghost Rider trying to go take down the Black Bifrost so Malekith's army can stop multiplying and more troops can be sent.
And then we have another team on Earth trying to just
Yeah,
keep the
with Captain
peace.
Marvel.
Yeah.
And there's another team on, I guess, whatever's left of New Asgard with Daredevil, who becomes the God without fear. He basically gets Heimdall's powers, and he could see and hear everything. So he could kind of tell what's
That's
going
awesome.
on, and he's with Jane Foster, and all the Valkyries are dead.
Yeah.
Which I think Jane's going to be a Valkyrie. And
I think so too, and I'm okay with that.
we're like seeing all this stuff like happen, and it's basically all out war in different sectors. The art's amazing. Russell Dauterman's art's phenomenal.
And the way they flow in between, sorry to cut you off, but the way they flow in between the realms and in between the teams is very smooth.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of you who might not know Norse mythology. That is perfectly fine. They do a great job explaining it, and they go from team to team, and you understand that they're very different, and they make it visually obvious, and just the way the creatures are there. So
Yeah.
it takes you on a great journey. This issue in particular, without complicating things.
No, I agree, and it had a lot of epic moments in the form of like, "Hey, this is our plan. What do we do? Let's do it." And basically the Dark Elves got through to Asgard and destroyed the new Bifrost that Daredevil created. So they immediately had to change the plan. Okay, now we're not destroying the Black Bifrost because now we need to use it. Now we protect it and no one passes us unless it's one of ours. So it's just a great pedal to the metal. Like, you have Punisher dressing up like a dark elf and like blowing everyone's brains out.
I like this one line where one of the elves are like, "We're weak to iron," and this man has an infinite amount of iron. He's just mowing them down.
Just mowing them down.
Oh, it was great.
So yeah, it's great, and you got like Captain Marvel fighting Malekith and
Venom try to fight
Venom,
Malekith.
which I think in the next issue Venom's captured by Malekith.
Yeah.
Like it's a hellhound almost. So it's crazy. It's the entire Marvel universe fighting for Earth. Earth has fallen now in this issue, and it's been sectored out. So like the trolls have Australia and like Ulik and the trolls and New Muspelheim.
Yeah,
and
Muspelheim. So the Fire World is pretty much all of Asia.
New Jotunheim is America.
Jotunheim. Malekith's world is Europe.
And Europe and Greenland, yeah. And then the
So-
Enchantress has South America. The Angels have Africa. So it's kind of broken up into like, we're gonna settle here. Not only are we taking this over, we're gonna settle on Earth, basically on the grave of all your best heroes that have stopped us before.
And millions are dying.
Obviously, the best part of the book is they finally find Thor,
Yes.
who was taken in the first issue, and they find Thor in the middle of Jotunheim, which is the frost giant planet, and he is mowing down frost giants, and they're like, "Oh, we got to get over these mountains." I can hear his voice, and they're like, "That's not mountains." And you look, it's just a pile of dead frost giants
And a river of their blood.
and a river
Insane.
of blood, and Thor is going berserk, and Wolverine's kind of sniffing him out to try and find him, and they find Thor at the end, and he's got this huge like crazed look in his eyes of like, basically like, "Bring me more frost giants, like bring them all to me." And he's missing like the part of his arm that he had, like the fake arm, and his hammer's down to like a nub.
Yeah,
like,
that was
smashing
dope.
faces. So he is just on a rampage. So I'm sure that he's going to fight them a little bit until he calms down.
Yeah. So both of these issues, fantastic fun times.
Awesome
Even if
books.
you're not an avid comic reader, jump on with issue number 1 of Deceased. Jump on issue number 1 with War of the Realms. You won't regret it.
Yes.
And Chris, unfortunately, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, out of time.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow links of the social media in the description below. It's going to have our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you like us.
Yes.
Comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you're listening to us on, iTunes or Spotify or Podbean, make sure you head over to YouTube and watch us talk. And if you're on YouTube,
yay!
do vice versa.
Yes.
As always, I'm Rob Moran.
And I'm Chris Heller.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.